Welcome to High Oracle's Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And I have been involved with some business dealings, and everything was going well. And now we're at the end of our dealing, then everything is, not the way that I planned it. I had some signs. I had been feeling some different types of signs that my eye was jumping, my right eye was jumping. So that was a sign that somebody was behind the scenes intentionally trying to send negative attacks up on me, trying to send, attacks because they're blatantly, this company is blatantly disrespectful, and I think it, like I said, because it's women, when they deal with women, they want to do what they want to do. And if I'm paying for something, if I'm paying you for a service, then there has to be a level of, a give and take of you letting me know what you can do. And, I'm letting you know that this is what I want as the consumer, the customer who's paying for a service. And we come together and we meet in the middle. This is what I can provide. This is what I can do. But when you blatantly, disregard me, then I no longer want to do business with you or any of your people. So we are, at a level that, when God is showing you signs, when you are getting these signs, you may not know what it is, but you know that God is going to reveal it. You know that there is someone behind the scenes. I've also had a family member reach out to me. I had a family member reach out to me this week. So we are understanding that when God is revealing, sometimes you just have to be still and let what God is revealing and showing you, directing you and guiding you, you just have to be still and let it come to you so that you can deal with these types of issues head on. So this is what we are dealing with. Let's make sure that, because I don't want you to think that I'm crazy. So if you are letting a person know, a company know that, the person that you're working with has been very disrespectful, has disregarded you, continue to try to, apply what they wanted, with your money, with, your idea to your customers, and they don't know the customer base. Okay, so you're not getting, the views that you want to get. And they continue, even after you ask these people to remove the person off of your campaign, they continue to let this person work on your campaign behind the scenes. And so, it was relayed to me that this person was still being consulted about my campaign. So when we're having these types of issues, this is what God was showing me all the time, that someone is false to me that I'm doing business with. These are the types of signs that you will get, when God is showing you that someone is trying to be slick. I've been talking about these companies that has been defrauding women, because across the board, these secret societies have put this in order towards women. Okay? But, when you understand that you have other people behind the scenes that's looking at, your ads were not coming out like this. This is dismal. It's ugly. It's disrespectful. Okay, so these are the types of understandings that, I have voiced my opinion. And at this point, I don't feel that there is any a need to keep doing that, going back and forth with a person about what I do not want. Okay, so these are the types of stance that we have to take. A strong stance when God has showed you that someone around you, you have to make sure, even when you're dealing with a company, you have to believe these people when they show you who they are. Because this has gone forward. This has gone forward to defraud women, to disrespect women. Even if, they are paying you, you're still going to try to be disrespectful. You're going to insert people who are disrespectful. You're not going to reprimand the persons that are in direct, disrespect of the customer. And so, I'm not the type of person that, want to have my way. But there are certain things that, we cannot be reconciled. So, I've had these types of instances before where, I've had my right eye jumping, and all week that, something negative, and I've been praying against it. So therefore, it has changed the, trajectory so that I can see where the disrespect, where the false person is coming from. I can see, who they're trying to insert in order to get a reaction out of me, family members that, I don't even deal with. And they know why I don't deal with them. And it is very funny. It's very funny that you can always tell a person that is a narcissist, because they're going to try to tell you what to do with your person, with your time, with your materials. And they're going to try to, make you work for them. In certain instances, you can't fix it. So, I choose not to stay in the past. I can, make sure that I give you examples on these types of things, but I choose not to stay in the past because I move forward. I move forward with, business dealings, people. And sometimes you just have to, chop it up and say, this is a loss. I'd rather take a loss than keep dealing with these types of people. Because I've handled, my business on my end. I've handled my business on my end, and I made sure that I have done everything that I can. I cannot, make a person, who is disrespectful be respectful. I used to say that, in my life. So we are getting ready to, move forward. And, I'm going to try to choose another person that I can work with, a project manager. I'm going to try to use, a different, approach. That, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to showcase to my clients. Out the gate, this is what, I expect. Okay, so now that we are understanding that, God will show you the signs about these narcissists in your circle. God will show you these signs about narcissists in business dealings. It just has to be brought to you. It's coming to you what these issues are, what these attacks are. These are blatant attacks from people who are narcissists and want to deal from a male hierarchy and do what they want to do with someone else's resources. Okay, so when you're calling them out, then you have to make sure that you're calling them out in their face so that, it breaks their mask. So that that, and they can understand that that you see them. That, you cannot move forward with people unless they are, just, like I say, blatantly disrespectful. You can't move forward with these types of people unless you are pretending with them. And that's never been a good thing in my book. That's why I just tell the truth. I tell people the truth. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about your behind. And and like I said, for these demons with these people who have these attachments, I curse them out. Because what I'm saying, you can't talk to them with decency and respect. And we have to make sure that when they only understand violence, that we are able to show our behind, and make sure that you can get it. You can get it. You can get the what I'm saying, a higher level of, intense disrespect, with educated disrespect, you buffoon. Okay, so we understand that sometimes we have to deal on that level at a higher elevated position. And God is going to reveal these types of people to you. He's going to show you those signs. He's going to bring it to you, the forefront of what you are missing behind the scenes. He's going to show you these people that is false to you, that's trying to harm you, that's trying to harm your brand, that's trying to attack you, because secretly they are discriminatory towards certain groups, towards certain people. And God has revealed it to me, and now I know why I'm getting these signs, because there's someone that's in my circle that I've meant the best, I've handled my end. These people, they do not mean the best, and God has showed them to me. And I'm going to ask that they be removed. I'm going to ask God to remove them. I'm going to tell them what they have done. So this is what we have to do when we're dealing in business with people. I don't think that we're supposed to just roll over and let people take our resources and do what they want to do and act in a way that they wouldn't want somebody to act with their personal belongings, with their wife, with their daughters, in their family. Then we have to make sure that we're holding these people accountable, and I intend to do just that. And I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. Please book your consultations so that I can acclimate a gift to your situations. If you are having these types of attacks from businesses, if you're having these types of attacks from people who are discriminating against you, okay? So please make sure that you are donating to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe again. I'm High Oracle Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.